Good morning, everyone. It's almost 6 o'clock in the morning here in New York, and I'm starting my adventure to run 10 of the most popular New York City parks. All right, you can see the sun sort of rising in the back. I think it's almost all the way up at this point, and here I go. I'm starting to run on Union Turnpike and Main Street. All right, so I got some food with me. I got some boiled eggs, some dried mangoes, some chia seeds, some ice water in my backpack here. And I'm starting at exactly 6 a.m. in about a minute. All right, it's almost 6:40 a.m. and I ran about 3 miles at this point, and I can see my first attraction in the first park, Flushing Meadows Park. And the first attraction is the Unisphere. We're lucky enough that this morning it's actually, the fountains are on. I wasn't sure what time they would be turning on, but here's the view. It feels pretty refreshing with the mist of the water kind of blowing in my face. It's really pretty here. Almost nobody around, really. Alright, making my way up the RFK Bridge. Got the city on the side here. The bridge view. Alright, I'm on Randall's Island, switching back up to the RFK Bridge to the Manhattan side. You can also go to Bronx from here, but not today. I think I've got enough on my list. Alright, I'm in the city, Amsterdam Avenue and 125th Street. Walking over to the west side to the second monument, which is General Grant's tomb. Alright, made it here to Riverside Park. This is the Cherry Walk, and this is the beautiful view of the Hudson River. Alright, so I made it to Riverside Park. I'm officially in the city. This is Ulysses S. Grant, United States 18th President. That's his tomb. This is one of the quietest parks actually that we're going to be in today. Alright, I've made it to Central Park at the Jacqueline Onassis Reservoir here. Really pretty. This is actually where I ran the 50 miles earlier this year. So it was about 33 loops of this reservoir. And here I am again, running towards the obelisk, a few miles down. All right, so we are in Central Park. This park has been around since 1858. It actually became a historical landmark in 1962. So behind me here, I have the obelisk, or it's also called Cleopatra's Needle. This was a gift from Egypt. It's actually from 1450 BC, and it's 69 feet tall. Pretty impressive. Alright, I've got some watermelon at the street fair over there, and I've made it to Bryant Park. So here I am. This is Bryant Park. We got the Josephine Lowell Shaw Memorial Fountain behind me. This park is actually also famous for hosting New York's Fashion Week. Alright, here I am in Madison Square Park. It's one of the smallest parks in New York City, and this is the Eternal Light Flagstaff. You can see it all the way up, going up. There's an American flag over there. Alright, next destination, I've made it to the High Line. It's basically built on an abandoned railway. Here's a sign, Historic Railing Restoration by John Blondell. Anyways, I'm getting pretty tired at this point. It's a little over 25 miles that I've run, and I'm walking along the abandoned railway here. These are, I guess, the tracks. Really hot. It's really hot out. It's about 85 to 86 degrees. Here's the High Line. You can basically walk a few blocks over each way and check out the sights. Alright, running up here, the Hudson River Park. And what I'm going to talk to you about here is the frying pan. Let me go ahead and flip the camera. Alright, again, Hudson River Park. This is the frying pan. It's actually one of the few historic lightships that is still here today from 1929. Give you some views of the Hudson River here. Really pretty. Really nice day as well. Closing in at about 26 miles at this point, so almost marathon distance. Still at the Hudson River Park. Spotted some cute ducks, so I figured why not take another little video and maybe do another video of the view, taking slightly the longer way to get to Battery Park. It's about 3.5 miles out, but I just wanted to walk a little bit by the river, so it's going to be more like 4 miles at this point. Alright, so I finally made it all the way downtown to Battery Park. Behind me is the Castle Clinton, which is one of the forts that used to protect the city. And at some point it was an immigration center, at some point it had an aquarium, it was a beer garden, it was a bunch of different things, and now it's just a national monument that's standing behind me. Alright everyone, I made it to City Hall Park. This is my park number 9, and here I have the Jacob Mould fountain. It was built by Jacob Mould in 1871, and then in 1920 it was disassembled and brought to the Bronx to Cortana Park, and then in 1998 it was actually reassembled and brought back to its original location, and here it is. Alright, I got my Starbucks coffee, which probably should have done a little bit earlier because it tasted so good. It changed everything. Walking up, yes, walking at this point. I can barely run. My everything hurts, mostly my feet, my legs, but for some reason my arms are fine, my hands are fine. Going up Brookly Bridge now. I've actually never been on Brookly Bridge on foot. This is pretty cool. Here's a little view. Going over to the last stop, which is Prospect Park. It's about 4 miles out, so can't wait to get there. Alright, I'm finally here in Prospect Park in Brooklyn. I'm standing here at the Grand Army Plaza. It took about 9 hours and 46 minutes and 36.2 miles with an average pace of about 16 minutes per mile. Slower than what I wanted, which was 15 minutes per mile, but I'll take it. I finished my 10-park tour. Hope you enjoyed it. And there's actually one more monument I'm going to show you in Prospect Park. So interestingly, Prospect Park was built shortly after Central Park was built. And the other monument that I wanted to show you here is the Sailors and Soldiers Arch that's standing right behind me. So I'm pretty excited to be done. I'm finally sitting down. It feels really good to sit down after this journey that started at 6 a.m. this morning. My feet are probably the worst parts of this trip, especially my left foot. And it's actually, my feet have gotten pretty dirty. You take a look here. I guess New York City's not that clean after all. But it's really pretty. I'm gonna go eat somewhere now. It's the fountain behind me here, and on the other side I've got that arch. Really beautiful, just seeing people kind of hanging out and enjoying their days. Really glad I did this.